Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. My name is Sister Fatima Hodge. Welcome.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. My name is Brother David Hodge. Welcome. All right, brothers and sisters. Today, we want to cover the ongoing conflict with Iran and false Israel. Now, what you see taking place over in the Middle East, it is a war that is not going to come to an end, brothers and sisters. And this very war will change your life as you know it forever. We're headed to a time of intense darkness, of unprecedented trouble. And many are in favor for this war to end. They're in a panic because the outcome of this war will not end well for the party in favor of Israel, America, and those associated with them. So this means that that's not good for their economy. It's not good for future business. There will not be any business. You see, we're talking about the country being in distress, being the economy collapsing due to this war. You see, not recovering, being destroyed, and that's what they fear. They praying, they're hoping that Trump can get some type of agreement in place to stop Iran from winning, because they're winning. Mm-hmm. And if they win, that's bad for them because that's a shift in authority. That's a shift in power. That means that false Israel, America and Britain, and the House Assad, these entities, individuals, they no longer have access to oil, which you need oil to run your economy.
Exactly. And that's why I shared that this event will break the pride of their power, because the oil is their power that they have. And that's what fuels this economy. On top of that, it fuels everything. Literally. It fuels their military. Mm-hmm. They need oil for their tanks. All these things, not just for lights, gas, and everything. Not just for those things, but they need it for their military itself. So they don't have that. That means they don't, they won't have what they need to even do what they need to do, fight.
Right.
So that's why I said it would break the pride of their power, because that's their power. That's where they're getting the oil. The oil is their power. That's what fuels the reality. It's the lifeline. It's the lifeline. That's what's pumping this reality. The oil.
Exactly.
Sisters and brothers. And that's exactly what they're using. They're using us. They're using our energy, converting into money to purchase what? Oil. They're using our energy to fuel their reality.
Right.
Sisters and brothers. So once they stop, once that comes to an end, they no longer have that.
Right.
And exactly, and they need that to fuel this reality. Everything. They need to fly their planes, their jets. Mm-hmm. Everything requires that oil. And when the economic crash takes place, that explains in the book of Revelations as well. In chapter 18, it speaks about the economic crash that will take place. And it shows that after, The economic crisis is what's going to take place, sisters and brothers, once, like we shared, false Israel is going to lose this war, sisters and brothers, along with those who are helping them.
Right.
So not only false is going to experience that, but those who are alongside with them and place them there, they're going to experience that as well.
Exactly.
So it's going to come to these. It's going to come here, sisters and brothers. What's taking place there is going to come here, and that's what's going to be, and that's what's going to take place, sisters and brothers. The scriptures explains this. It says that they will be destroyed. False Israel will be destroyed.
Right. Exactly. And that's something that really that can't happen. You understand? Like that scenario can't happen because that's an abomination. That's not supposed to happen.
Exactly.
They're supposed to be implanted in their land and be at peace and never be removed. Said uprooted or removed. So right. So if that happens, that means that they're not who they claim to be.
Mm-hmm.
And last time we checked, the black man and woman of America had second claim to being the true seed of Abraham. So that means that you fall right in place, which is the whole reason why they set it up, to counter our claim.
Exactly. Because you are the true seed of Abraham, sisters and brothers. However, this nation has stolen our identity. And what am I trying to say? I don't want to say it in the... Yes, false Israel has stolen our identity, sisters and brothers. That's what's taking place.
Right.
They're not the true seed of Abraham.
Right.
We are. But they're claiming to be who we are, and that's not who they are. And the proof of that shows that they are not at peace. They're at war right now as we speak. And the scripture says that once we're back in our land, we will be at peace. But that's not what's taking place over there in false Israel, who claims to be God's people that meets that description.
Right.
So that alone should tell you that these people are not meeting the descriptions that they claim to meet, right? They claim to be something, but they're not meeting any of the descriptions.
Right. Exactly.
The description said this person will be dark skinned,
exactly,
with dreads. I'm just giving an example, but you see a light skinned man, right? It's just, so the point is that they're lying.
Right. Right. If you read the fine line and read the scripture,
they don't meet it.
Right, they don't meet the description. Like they never was enslaved to any man. But it said that it said God's chosen people, they would be enslaved. You see? And it said that they'd be in a strange land. But they're in Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's right next to, and they said they came from Egypt, right? They said they left from Egypt, right? That's Exodus. So they left from Egypt and went to Palestine. That's right next door. That's not a strange land. You see? So, like she said, they're not fitting the description. You know?
And they said that we would be enslaved and afflicted.
Right.
Sisters and brothers, not just enslaved, we were also afflicted.
Exactly.
Which is why they're going to be cursed.
Mm-hmm.
They are cursed.
Right.
For touching God's people when it said, do not touch that tree. But that's what they did. They still did what they were told not to do, right?
And that came with consequences.
And that comes with consequences, sisters and brothers.
Right. Said you surely die. And they meant, and God meant that. They thought it was a joke.
Mm-hmm. So that's why we're here speaking to you all and making you all aware of what's to come, because that guidance is not out here for you, because everyone is in the dark, right? Lost, because all you have is people out here lying to you 24/7, so you don't know. You don't know the truth. You don't know what's taking place. You don't know what to do. Even if you were paying attention to what's taking place, you don't even know. You're just watching. You don't know what to do though. What comes from this, right? That would be my question next. Okay, so when this comes, when this war, because clearly you can see that America's involved, right? So alone you'll think, what's to come here, right? That's the first thought in your mind. Well, that's the first thought of my mind. I know,
They've been programmed.
Exactly.
You can believe America's great, America's strong, America's the best. America's undefeated. It's not true.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to be defeated, sisters and brothers, and these things are going to come here. And that's the point of this conversation today, for us to make you all aware of the danger that you're in when this event takes place.
Right. Because you're going to be in danger.
Exactly. You will. And you're going to have to flee. You're going to get out of here, sisters and brothers. Well, I'm going to tell you,
right.
The point I'm making is that we're going to have to get away from these devils. Right. That's the point I'm making. So when this event takes place, you won't be caught up. Because that's how a lot of our people are going to be, and a lot of people will be, because they lack knowledge, or just, they love massa. So they don't even know the all what massa comes with all.
Right.
Excuse me. They don't know the get words together today.
Of Satan.
Exactly. There you go. They don't understand.
They don't even realize he's a devil.
Who they are.
They think the devil's some spooky spiritual entity, but he's right there in your face.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they planned it. I mean, that's how they set it up. That caused that confusion. You see, keep you from seeing the real wolves. You see, that's how they do it. That way they can move around and do what they're doing and claim that we're all the same people and we're fighting the same spiritual battle. But it's really them, the ones plotting against you 24/7 and aiming to eliminate our nation, like the sister shared last time, to abort our nation. That's what their plan is, because they're guilty of that crime that she explained about them touching that tree. They said not to, you see. And now they exceeded their limits. Now they do judgment.
Exactly.
And there is no escape from that judgment. So, but like she shared, that don't stop them from trying. So that's why they're going into effect, because they're trying to prevent. You see, God had a plan, right? He was the best of planners. But the devil planned against them.
They don't fear.
Right.
Consequences, isn't it, rather?
Yes, they had no fear of consequence before their eyes.
So they honestly don't even think that this is going to, they think that their plan is going to be successful.
Right.
This is really their mind. They honestly think that they're going to be successful in their plans.
Right. Exactly. You're rooting for yourself. I'm sure if you're in a fight, you're going to root for yourself. I mean, you're not going to be like, you're going to get in there and root for the other person. So in their mind, they're winners. They got this under control. Even if it looks bad, they hoping for a miracle. So they're putting all their belief on what they, they're putting all their faith in their belief that they're the spiritual seed of God, that He's gonna come through for them. That's the end time scenario. They're doing all this time, all this war, and all these enemies will come against God's people, and then God would show up, appear, destroy their enemies, and take them on up.
Mm-hmm. That's why our job is here to give you all a vivid picture of that day that's coming very soon. So you all have some type of awareness of what's coming, so you're not in such of a shock where you're, you either can't take it or you just destroyed from it, and you're taken out. So, sisters and brothers, we want to shine light on the economic crash today because our people are going to suffer from this tremendously. And this is a time like no other. Literally, this is me and Brother Davis. We have never experienced these things either. So we're giving you from what scriptures has been exposed, and they're telling us we're giving you that explanation from that.
Right.
That's the only way we can fathom what's going to take place during that time because it's unprecedented.
Right.
It's never happened before.
I don't know.
We don't even know the depth. We get ideas from the scriptures, but experience is the best teacher, right? Mm-hmm. Which is why once we all are in that situation, we will actually see and feel and see who these devils truly are.
Right.
Sisters and brothers, and that's important for us to see that. So we realize who our enemies are. Because right now you don't see that. But when their true colors break out, you're going to see that in full fledged. And it's not going to be a pretty sight, sisters and brothers. And it's not something that you're going to be sitting back and relaxing and looking at either. It's just going to be at your doorsteps. Right here in America, sisters and brothers, blacks are going to be attacked during this time. They have already had plans to get rid of us, sisters and brothers. They've been trying constantly to get rid of us for this day that we're seeing today. This war that's happening, they've been trying to get rid of us before this took place. Mm-hmm. Because now that exposes who they are, right? When they are taken out, that exposes that they're not who they claimed to be. And we, like Brother David shared, we are the next runner-ups, right? And we, the black man and woman of America, are the only nation that meets that description of the Abrahamic covenant, right? That you can find, sisters and brothers, in Genesis chapter 15. It speaks about the covenant, Abraham's vision, and our covenant, sisters and brothers. The promise that was made to you.
Right. And it says, the people without a vision will perish.
And that's your vision.
Right. So their job is to make sure you don't get it, to make sure you perish, and make sure you never wake up again. Because like she explained, they're due judgment. Mm-hmm. They're due consequence for their actions of servitude and affliction for 400 years. And they don't want to see this day coming. They planned against this day from day one to get rid of you, to not receive that judgment. And they invest and spend all their time. Yeah, right, that sounds crazy, right? Somebody will spend all their time to make sure that you're programmed. You're staying within the programming. Mm-hmm. You're being influenced. You know what I'm saying? You're being tainted. And they're messing with your environment, messing with your living situation, messing with your education. You see, it's levels to this thing. Keeping you in prison, aborting your babies. You know what I'm saying? All these things that they put in place to eliminate you.
And that's what it takes. And that's what it takes. Because in order to eliminate a nation, dehumanize them, make them, turn them into animals, totally degrade them. Right. 100%. And that's exactly what they've done. So we have to understand that they're in the plans to get rid of us. They've been trying to get rid of us. And They're racing the clock now.
Right.
That's all I can say.
The
They're racing the
situation
clock.
is becoming more crucial because of the time that we explain it with this war with Iran, which they're not backing down. There is no peace agreements. Like we explained years ago, the JCPOA agreement, the JCPOA agreement was never coming back. It was no more of any type of peace agreements going to be made, and they're firm on that right now. And now they're putting in their list of demands. They're telling you who they're running the show. Mm-hmm. You see, because they know what's going on. They know that God's with them, which is a narrative switch, right? Because the world is structured around the idea that false Israel are the ones that's supposed to be with God. Not today. And that's a shock. That's going to be the shock because the underdogs is Iran. They don't think they're going to win, but they are. But the point is, like once American Britain get kicked out, which they're going to get kicked out soon, in the House of Side, they're going to be defeated, and that's going to set up. Right, let's set up that sequence right there. That's when it says, when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies.
No, that is destruction. Right.
No, the destruction is near.
That means they're going to be destroyed.
Right. That's what that means. In clear. You see?
These are in your scriptures, sisters and brothers. This is what the Bible reads, right? This is what the true meaning of the scriptures are. The unsealed scriptures.
Right.
But a lot of our people, they claim to, or not our people. We're right. A lot of people, they read the Bible, right? Or they go to church or any organization that they're involved with that, reads the Bible, but they don't come past certain verses.
Right. Right. Because some of them verbatim, like the covenant.
Like the Abrahamic covenant. Right.
And the vision part. That's verbatim. You just read it. Tell you exactly what it's saying.
And it describes the experience of the black man and woman of America. Right. So the Abrahamic covenant has not been spoken about by anyone, but that one that will come as the messenger of the covenant,
right,
who would give us the message about the covenant, because we didn't even know. Why don't we know when it's right here in our Bible? Why don't we know this, right? And isn't this something that all black people should be focused on, regardless of the knowledge of having, the knowledge of demons? They don't know, that knowledge we just received, right? That we have a hidden enemy. Masses, blackface children, house Negroes. So we have to understand that this is a topic that the Abrahamic covenant, if it was spoken, if it was read, not saying if it was read. The point I'm making is that if this was a highlight conversation, this is what the Abrahamic covenant should be the highlighted conversation in every pastor's house, right? And everybody who claims to giving you light for black, that should be their conversation. That's the point I'm trying to make here. That should be the main point of the conversation. In the Bible, it speaks about the Abrahamic covenant, and the Abrahamic covenant meets the black man and woman of America's description, right? That should be their main, focus. Telling our, but that's not what they're doing,
right?
At all.
They leave that part out.
Why? When it's in the scriptures, and it's telling you exactly what will take place here, what's happening to us, all these things. Ain't nothing spooky happening. It's telling you exactly what's happening. What's happening to you? Right. What would happen to you while you will be enslaved?
Right. That's because they got the education from the European.
Exactly.
So you only able to talk about certain things, And on top of that, uh, majority of the pastors and preachers and of such, they're massive blackface children.
Exactly.
So that's against them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So why preach something that's totally against you?
We were the slaves. They got all these narratives out now. That was fake. That was made up. Slavery is made up. Like these things, and that's their mind, because you know we have to understand that.
Right.
You know,
Right. They got to take over America.
exactly.
So they putting themselves as the indigenous,
right.
the natives. We were here first. We were already here. So now
Yeah,
they have rights to the land.
We were already here.
Right.
We were not brought from another place. We were already here. Mm-hmm. So, all that's a lie. Right. What they're saying about our history. We were already here. This is our land, and that's not what. But the thing is that the demons can say that because they were produced here right. in America. The last 500 years, they were produced. Sisters and brothers. So yes, they were produced here in America. So they do feel that way, right? We were already here, and they were. They were born here. They were born here. They were produced here in America from the rape of the black woman. So, excuse me, sister and brothers. Right, sister and brothers, excuse me. So
that just helps them with their claim.
Excuse me.
With thinking that they can take over America.
Exactly.
That's the point. That they're trying their best to change the fabric of America. And if they can completely change it, which they feel that they're due to that because they haven't been treated right. Mm-hmm. Because they're Caucasian and black skin. They never was treated right by their fathers. So they long for that love that they never received mm-hmm. and that treatment that they deserved. But they look like us, so they was treated like us. Mm-hmm.
But they act just like their fathers.
Exactly.
Which is to kill, steal, and destroy. And that's exactly what they're doing today. Like I shared, the preachers, that's the point we're making about the preachers who are supposed to be, who are supposed to be that light for our people, right? They're supposed to be the light. That's what the point of being a preacher is, right? To motivate the people, give the people the light, tell them what's taking place, right? And that's not what they do. They tell you a bunch of lies, tell you things are, have you thinking in spooky things instead of what actually is taking place. They have you thinking about spooks and spirits, and that's not what we don't believe in spooks and spirits. We believe actual facts, sisters and brothers. So, understanding that, that everyone, I wouldn't say everyone, because we are also reflecting a light to you all. So the majority of the people who are out here today are corrupting your minds, sisters and brothers. That's their plan. That's their plan by nature. They're not sitting told and said, go corrupt their minds today. That's just what they do. This is who they are by nature, sisters and brothers. And they're not giving you that light that you need and guidance for the time. When this war breaks out, what do you do? I mean, not when it breaks out. Once they lose this war and the economic crash takes place here in America, what do you do? Are they preparing you for that? No, they're not. However, we're here and we're going to prepare you for that event, sisters and brothers, because it is not going to be a pretty sight to see. It is unprecedented times, sisters and brothers. No oil, no gas, no water, no transportation, no food. Imagine that, sisters. No food to feed your children. No blankets to give them in the cold. No heat. Imagine that. Imagine the times. It shares that a child will be gray-headed during these times, sisters and brothers. This time will be worse than the Great Depression, worse than any time that you get, worse than the Holocaust, worse than all these little situations that they went through. It's It's going to be a time like no other. People are going to be killing each other. People are going to be eating each other. Our people are going to be angry. People are going to be angry. Killing pastors, killing preachers, killing all these motivators because they are telling them lies, sisters and brothers. Telling them lies. And this is what you're going to be seeing. Pastors on sticks. I don't even know how to explain that. But the point is that...
Like pitchforks.
Pitchforks, exactly. That's how they're going to have them. Because they're going to be so angry at what they have been taught, deceived about.
Right. And they lost family members, loved ones.
Exactly. Along the way.
Right.
During and about to, as they speak. So they're going to have nothing to lose. Sisters and brothers. This is going to be a time like no other. And all we can do is express it in a way where you all can understand just the surface of what we're saying or what's going to happen.
Right.
Because we don't truly know who these devils are by nature. We don't truly know that.
Right.
Yeah, we see it in their movies. Yes, we see it in shows and documentaries they put out about Caucasians and things, but we have not physically seen that happen in real life.
Right.
It's going to be a bloodbath, sisters and brothers, in real life. You see people killing themselves today over little petty things, sisters and brothers. It's going to be 10 times worse than that. Not 10 times, even more worse than that, sisters and brothers. And all of the pressure is going to do is keep increasing. So imagine how many people are going to not make it. Let's just start there. On top of all the death that you're about to see. Children. Women are going to be killing their own children. Men are going to be killing their wives, their own children. They're going to disown their own children. Imagine a time where you have nothing. Just put yourselves in a time where you have nothing. You have nothing. You have no food, no water, nothing. You're thirsty. You're hungry. You're thirsty. You're hungry. And that's all they're even worried about, honestly. Nobody's focused on anything else during this time. But being hungry, being thirsty, that's really the real what they call it, I forgot what I was about to say, the hunger. It's the real Hunger Games. Because people are going to be hungry. Hungry, sisters and brothers. Just that alone. Forget about, that's what's going to be the fight. Hunger. People are going to be killing each other to eat each other, sisters and brothers. It's not just going to be a killing game where people just mad, shooting up in the air or just shooting each other just because. No, people are going to be killing each other to eat each other. To eat each other. They're not going to, on top of, imagine when the economic crash starts, there's not going to be any food in the stores. I mean, there will be food in the stores from when it starts. So imagine people guarding up around these stores and telling you can't come in here. You think you're about to go in there and get some food for your family into this economic crash wears down a little bit, because that's what people are going to think. And you're thinking about to walk into these stores and get what you need, you're not going to be able to do anything, because people are going to be surrounding them stores. They're going to have everything on lock because sisters and brothers, imagine the time we have nothing. Nothing. They're going to be taking over these places. You don't understand how deep this is. It's not even, I mean, you can, right now I'm just imagining,
Right.
I'm really just giving them out. I watch a lot. We watch a lot of video film footage and movies, so they show you a lot of situations where there's nothing, and how people react, right? And I can give a actual example that actually happened in New Orleans when they had the Hurricane Katrina take place. Then people didn't have any food. They didn't have any water. They were out there struggling, trying to survive. And they had grocery stores that were full of items. And they had their military surrounding those stores, not allowing the people to come in, saying that it was theft. They were stealing when these people were starving because of a natural disaster. Sisters and brothers, a natural disaster. So these people should have been able to just go in the stores, right? And eat. Get something here. They should have been passing it out. Because at that point, the flood was going to take it. It was going to ruin all the food anyway, right? So imagine that. And that wasn't even during, and that was a natural disaster that happened. That wasn't so that was a situation that, they would have come out of. And they treated the people the way they treated them, right? They couldn't get nothing out of them stores. And the money didn't even matter at that time. In Louisiana, at least, because everything's flooded. You weren't buying nothing. You didn't even have any. At that point, your money was probably floating in the water somewhere. Grocery stores wasn't even able to be used. So what was the point of holding the food back? Because they just wanted you to suffer. You know what I'm saying? So imagine when this happens. And they have and this is it. This is the last shipment in these stores, in these freezers, in these big trucks that you're gonna see. That hauls these foods everywhere. Mm-hmm. They're gonna be surrounding them too. They're gonna be in them. You're gonna get shot. You come next to it. People are going to be acting like unhumane. You don't understand how deep being hungry is.
Be like,
that's the fuel of this reality. Hunger. Period. Eat. We gotta eat. They eat how many times a day?
7, 8, 10.
Constantly. They don't even stick with the 3 times a day that they so-called say you should eat. Right. They eating constantly.
They just got, as long as they got something to eat.
Constantly, sisters and brothers. Which is why it's important for us to start applying that discipline. Because that discipline will put you in a position where you're not even wanting. You know what I'm saying? During the time of that, like that. It's gonna, that's another thing. Sisters and brothers, have you ever been so in shock where you're not even hungry? I don't even want to eat. I'm so sick. I'm so in shock. I don't even want to eat. And then a few days, but you gotta remember, a few days go past, you're gonna get hungry. Period. But when you're in that first shock, you're not even worried about food. You're worried about getting out of here, running, right? You're worried about running. You're not even worried about eating. That's that feeling that you get in your stomach when you get your little first breakup or a heartache, and you don't want to eat. That's how you're gonna feel. You're not even want to eat anything. You're not even gonna be focused on eating. You're gonna be focused on your survival, living, being alive. But once that adrenaline comes down, that food, that stomach is gonna call you. Okay, sisters and brothers. No. That's why we have to understand that.
You need food.
You do need food.
Water.
You do need it
to sustain your life.
You do.
So that's the point. You gotta eat to survive.
Exactly.
The food is energy. Once you eat it, your body converts it into energy that you can use to maintain yourself and to do your daily activity. So without it, you can't thrive. So that's why it's so serious. That's why it's not like people making up that they're hungry. That's because it converts to energy. Exactly. And they're used to burning it in that form. Getting that energy, every 2-3 hours. They used to, or every hour, every 30 minutes, they're used to getting that boost of energy. Mm-hmm. It gets more severe. And like she said, they had no discipline, so it's severe. for them because they don't not eat.
Sisters and brothers.
So right, like you said, can you imagine it? Imagine people that don't fast, that don't practice the discipline of refraining from eating. They gonna be the first one sizing you up. Mm-hmm. And not to mention, you're still 3/5 of a human. Mm-hmm. So that means that if you understand what that means you're not human.
In their cause, in their Constitution we're considered not human, when that's clearly false. But that's what they put in their Constitution because, they were given rules, right? And this is what the rules that they made, right? That we're not human, huh? Sisters and brothers, they plan on eating us. That's why they did that. They did that way prior to this that's about to take place. That means that they planned this. They were prepared for this. That's how serious it is. They prepared hundreds of years prior, before this event will happen, because they are not going to go without eating, sisters and brothers. They're not. This is why the scriptures shows you, kind of creates you a vivid picture of how serious it's going to be, because it said a woman would eat her own birth. It said a woman would be silent, would give birth in silence. Mm-hmm. First of all, she's hiding. Let's start here. Let's get into that, because we need to paint a picture for our people, because this is how serious it's going to be, sisters and brothers. And a lot of women are going to be pregnant during this time. I mean, there's not going to be women just babies. They're not going to be in hospitals, any of that. Everybody is going to be at risk, unprecedented, and nobody can help you. No one. You can't call the police. You can't call the ambulance. Can't call anyone to help you at all. So you're going to have to help yourself. And the thing is that this woman is probably hiding at this point, because she first of all, she's not just herself. She's two people, because she's pregnant. So she has a lot of food to eat, right? On her and that baby that's in her belly. So she's hiding. Of course she's going to hide during that time. Hiding. And now she's at birth. She's in labor. She's starving. First of all, let's start about that. Think about that. She's starving and hiding. Because you either eat or you get ate, right? So she's hiding at that point. Sister and brother, how deep this situation is going to be. You see movies, they're not going to be zombies though. It's going to be physical people, alive, like me and you, speaking right now. They show you in these movies how they eat each other. The smell intensifies, the ears intensifies, all of that, all those senses intensifies when you don't have nothing in that body. The zombies is in the movies, they're considered zombies, but people are going to be smelling you from a mile away. They're going to smell you they're going to smell you, which is why cooking and saving up and stocking up food is not going to be your answer during this time. You're not going to be sitting down cooking. You think you're going to be sitting down cooking? Cooking what you done stocked up? Sisters and brothers, you're not serious. That's why we got to understand how serious the people are going to smell that from a mile away. You're going to smell that because they haven't eaten in days. Imagine having not eaten in days. So this is all, those things are text, but I'm going to get back to that situation with that sister. She's in that house hiding, right? Trying to save her life. On top of saving her life, she's trying to eat to save her life as well. So her she's in labor because she still has to push that baby out. She's about to, this war happened, and I'm about to be in labor, right? So she still has to have that baby. So she has to push that baby out. Why is she quiet? Why did the scripture say in silent? In silence, sisters, in silence. Why? Imagine that, sisters. How? Imagine without epidural, pushing a baby out in silence. Mm, mm. That's a hard thing to do. And that's what's going to happen. Because if she make any noise, that means somebody's going to hear her. That means that's giving you a sign that somebody's listening, right? If she's in silence doing it, why she's quiet, she quiet. Why does she have to be quiet? And she's literally pushing out a fucking, oh, excuse me, sisters and brothers. Oh my goodness. She's literally pushing out a baby, right? Right? She's literally pushing out a baby. And she has to be quiet. Sisters and brothers, that should paint another picture for you that somebody's listening to if obviously, if she got to be quiet, pushing out a baby, that's serious. I mean, somebody's hearing her. Like, if I hear any little thing, I say, people's ears are going to be open much wider. Eyes, nose is going to, they haven't ate. Sisters and brothers, people are going to be looking for you to eat you. She's going to have birth in silence and not only to be quiet, not because she's hiding, of course, but to eat her own baby because she want to eat it. Mm-hmm. She don't want nobody else to eat it. Mm-hmm. She want to eat it. Mm-hmm. She's gonna eat her own baby to survive. That's deep, sisters and brothers.
She had to kill the baby on the spot, snap the baby's neck. The baby gonna come
out. I was alive. That baby was alive. It was coming out crying. Imagine that. That's crazy, sisters and brothers. That's crazy. That's crazy right there. That's crazy. And I feel like that was they put that in the scripture for a reason, because that's what's more vivid of a picture than that?
Right, you got one that
where you got the children gray-headed. Go ahead. Yes,
right, sir. I'm going to tell you not to hesitate. It said not even go back for your baby. That's another one that hurts.
Yes. Not even turn around for your child. You must get out of here. That's how serious it is. Scripture tell you to flee. Does not turn around. Don't turn back. Even so, if you were at the grocery store and this event happened, your kids are all the way an hour away at your mother's house, there's no going back to pick them up, because that's how serious it is. The point was to show how serious the situation is. You won't be able to turn around and say, I gotta go get my kid. You will have to go. Sisters and brothers, go. Sisters and brothers, get out of here. That's how serious it is. People are going to be shooting themselves just so they won't have to experience what's about to happen. Killing their whole families just so their families don't experience it. And people are doing that now just because they're going bankrupt. They bullying at school. They shoot themselves in the head because they were being bullied. These small little things they're killing themselves about. Or marriage situations, all these things that people are killing themselves and their families about are small situations compared to what's about to happen. So imagine the bloodbath that you're about to witness, because that's coming to America, sisters and brothers, an economic crash, and it's complete. Sisters and brothers, complete crash. It's not just going to be for a moment, stuff that you're used to. Oh, well, we're just going to have, how the gas is going to be going up, or, it's not going to be any. How are you going to get to destination to destination? No planes. Everything fuels off of oil, sisters and brothers, and we will not have that. We will not have that. Your children are going to suffer. Sisters and brothers, you are going to suffer. Your babies are going to suffer during this time. Which is why it's important for this light to reach our people, so you all can prepare for this day. Do anything that you can to prepare for this day. Nothing can fully prepare you because we've never witnessed this day before. But applying your nature, which is the 5 pillars of Islam, will prepare you for what's to come. And excuse me, sisters and brothers, it's important that we firm our hearts, because it said men's hearts will fail. Excuse me. From fear, from what's to come, sisters and brothers, just from what's to come, and that means that hasn't came yet. In their fear, which is why it's important that we firm our hearts by reciting, because what we're going to see, we got to be able to take it. We got to be able to handle that. We have to be able to handle that, sisters and brothers, or else it's either survive or be destroyed, right? And that's what's going to happen. That's the situation that we're in. And on top of fasting, practicing that, because like I said, we're going to be in a situation where we might not have food for a certain amount of time, but we will receive food from the God, which is why it's important to understand that this is the right vision. This is your vision, the Abrahamic covenant, with the messenger of the covenant, the Son of Man. This is your vision, not the demon vision to take over America, because they're the ones that's going to be suffering, because they're trying to take over America. On top of that, they're going to be the ones suffering, because they're trying, like I said, first of all, they're not original, so they're going to be destroyed, just like their devil fathers. Right. And they're going to be trying to take over America. And what I just expressed, what the scripture tell you, that they're going to be destroyed, right? Taken out. So why would you invest in something that's about to come to an end? So that's why our people need to be aware of the hidden enemy, because that's going to be one of the biggest breakers during this time. What will you choose? Right. Will you choose to take over America, or will you choose your vision? And that taking over America will only be a small time of, well, what is that? You become, it's because, what am I trying to say? You're gonna be looking at the comfortability that they have, or
right. It sounds trendy. It sounds good. It sounds powerful. This is great. It's a great idea.
Exactly.
Right, because and then people that's doing it are people that was in this world doing well. So I try to go along with the people that were doing well in this reality. Oh, well, if they're doing well, then this must be the best decision to make.
Exactly.
Not for this decision. Not for this moment. Or
exactly.
It tell you exactly like you said. The scripture tell you. It said the people out of vision will perish. So that means the people that ain't got one is perished. A dream is not a vision.
And the demons push American dream, and they're trying to take over America.
Exactly.
The American dream.
So we know it's a guaranteed fail, and we already know that America's going to be totally destroyed. You see?
Exactly.
So even if they did take it over, it's still going to be moot.
Exactly. So, Sister Bro, that's why it's important for you to get this light, so you understand that America is going to be destroyed. So that wouldn't even be an option. Right, you ain't even going to give them an option, because it says here that XYZ is going to take place. Right. So I'm not going with you guys. This is not Cousin Nene, Auntie Kendall, Auntie Shanna, whatever your auntie name, and they may be demons, and that's something that you're going to have to. That's going to be a deal breaker as well, because you're going to have to separate from them. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be where a lot of our people are not going to be willing to do, because we're taught, that's my people.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's really not. It's not easy. People can't even handle separation now.
Right.
They can't. They're not going to be able to handle the fact that mine is about to be destroyed, killed. You know what I'm saying? And I have to separate from them, and we all that's why I said you don't even know who you truly are until that fire hits you. Because when that fire, you might be saying those things now. You might be feeling that way, old Poogie, cause but when that fire hits you, you may have another,
You might have a change of heart.
You might have a change. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. You might have a change of heart right there. You would, because, like I said, when that drilling, you're out of here. Oh, forget y'all. I'm not the guy.
Your life's at stake.
My life, you know what I'm saying? We've never been in a situation like that. Right. We've never been in a situation like that. We just only watch movies and things like that and think that that's just a bunch of stuff that happens in other countries or no. And that's another thing. This is going to be worse than movies that you've seen. Unprecedented, never happened. So, sister, brother, that's another thing. I don't want to compare it to anything that happened in another country. Because, yes, it's going to be similar, but it's going to be worse. So, imagine all that. Put all that together, but worse happening here. I'm not saying that, because we're going to be here during tribulations, yes. However, that's not something that I want to experience. No one should want to experience that, right? Seeing women and children hungry, being murdered in the streets. You might even see brains in the street. Like I said, they're gonna be shooting they're gonna be killing their families. You're gonna see things that you're not used to seeing, sisters and brothers.
Right.
Literally. I don't know how else to make another picture.
It's like a literal action movie with horror mixed. Like, it's ongoing, rapid, no end, just constant. Because the pressure is increasing. So that means the conflict, the violence is going to increase. It's going to happen more rapid. Because they're not going to have any, they're going to be accelerating at intense speeds. So that means they're not going to be thinking. They're going to just react to everything. They're going to be listening to their, like they say, my stomach, listening to my, what's that damn word called? They listen to their instincts.
Okay, yes, right.
They're going to be in animal mode.
Because people are, hey, I can give you an experience of being hungry when I was not the happiest, right? So, this is something that you have to prepare for, sisters and brothers.
Right. You got to prepare. So you got to start somewhere. If you don't start at all, then imagine you being at ground zero. You know what I'm saying? You're not prepared at all. That means the likelihood of you surviving is slim.
Mm-hmm. And this is what, this is the light that you all should be hearing 24/7. This is the vision that you all should be hearing 24/7. Not the deeper vision. They tell you, just pray. God's gonna work everything out. What else? What the pastor telling you?
Let go, let God.
Let your haters beat it. What does that have to do with what's happening right now? What is so somebody's gonna fly down here and pick me up before that war hit up in what's about to happen?
You don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. Oh, don't worry about that. God got that. Oh, sisters and brothers, these people are not preparing you for what's happening. They don't even know.
Exactly.
Blind leading the blind. They're blind.
They're gonna be in a world of shock.
But like we said, they don't fear consequence. They don't even fear what we talking about.
Right.
They don't fear that. They don't even fear the war. They believe in America so much they don't even believe that nothing's about to happen here. Right. That's how deep it is.
I'm having my time. Not my time.
Yeah.
That's the excuse.
Sisters and brothers, that's crazy to me. How, well, it's not crazy because at the end of the day, they're demons. They're master children. This is how they think. This is who they are by nature. And they're going to by nature, they're going to put you in the wrong direction.
Right.
Period.
That's what they do. That's what they focus on.
They're not sitting there playing, I'm going to put you in the wrong direction. We're going to take you in the wrong direction. No, that's just who they are. And just by nature, they lead you wrong because they're not, they don't have the same, they're not who you are. Mm-hmm. So you're going to automatically go in the wrong direction, following their lead. Right. And that's what they have us doing. Following their lead. The demons, master's children. We're following their lead. And what is it leading to? Our destruction. Sisters and brothers. But that's the only vision they give us, not vision, but that's the only example they give us. Is their demon children. Which is why we're following their lead. Which is why we're doing everything that that we see that them doing, we try to do. Because those are our examples. That's what we're given as an example. But sisters and brothers, that's why we're here to give you that light, to show you that you have a hidden enemy that's surrounding you right now. And they're going to be one of the reasons why you go to the wrong direction because you are following their lead. You need to understand that you have a hidden enemy. Black-faced children from the rape of Massa, from raping the black woman. That's why we're going to look at the skin tones, sisters and brothers. Because you have the darkest man can be a Caucasian man, sisters and brothers. Or the lightest man can be an original. That's why the skin tone doesn't matter. Because of how much rape they've done to our nation, skin tone doesn't even matter. It's about the nature of that person, right? So you have people who look just like you, darker than you. They're not, and they're massive children. Like I said, you can identify these things by the positions that they have in life. Either they're well off, rich, wealthy, just like Massa. Good job in school, do all these things just like Massa. They're achieving the same things that Massa is achieving. Why only this group blacks can do those things? Because they're Massa's children. That will be a clear sign of you're dealing with one of Massa's children. Mm-hmm. Though they're in the industry, all those people. They're in all those people, and that's going to be those who's going to try to detour you from your vision when this event takes place, because they're going to unite, and they're going to come together. They're going to unite, just like we're going to unite. But their unity is not the unity that you need to come. That's not your body, and you're going to, and that body is going to get you destroyed, sisters and brothers. That's not who you are, but a lot of our people, like I said, are going to perish for lack of knowledge. They're going to go that direction because of their demon, because of these demons. Period. That was their tactic, to place these demons with us, camouflaged in, so they can take as many down with them as they can. Like he said, they will reach out from their grave, and this was one of their tactics, to reach out from that grave, to kill us right along with them, along with their children. They don't care about their children. They're not worried. They're just using them to make sure they destroy us. So at the end of the day, they're going to be destroyed too, and they didn't even get all that they deserved. So that's another thing they're going to have to deal with. They're trying to get the love from their fathers still, get what they deserve, which is another sign of Massa's children, sisters and brothers. So be aware that you have people who are surrounding you 24/7 that are Massa's children. They look like us, they talk like us, but they're not us, sisters and brothers. And when this war takes place, you're going to have to be able to choose the proper vision. Actually, sisters and brothers, your vision, because they don't have vision. Their vision is, they have a dream, which is America, the American dream. And it's going to lead to their destruction. Also, your destruction if you go in that direction. However, right, exactly. Did you want to add on anything else?
No, you covered it pretty good.
Okay. Well, sisters and brothers, that was a point today to make you all aware and paint you all a vivid picture of the seriousness of the time that's about to take place. So, with that, we will be back with more. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.